Getting ready to go on a first date? This video is for you. I want to unpack some key observations you should make, you should be listening for, or noticing on that first date. So before I get into that, let me briefly introduce myself. Hi, my name is Marissa Senya, and I am a freedom coach. I help women who are feeling trapped or stuck in unhealthy relationships by providing strategic guidance and resources so they gain the confidence, clarity, and support that they need to make a peaceful exit from relationship dynamics that no longer serve them or dynamics that were never working for them in the first place. And so today I want to shift gears a bit and talk about what it should be like and what you should be listening for, paying attention to when you are out on a first date, because that's where it begins, right? It always starts with that date number one that may lead to number two or three, or a year later you're in a healthy, blissful relationship. So let's get into that. What should you be looking out for? What should you be paying attention to? Well, if you're getting ready to go out on a first date, or you're anticipating going out on a date soon, clearly it's because you found somebody attractive and the feeling was mutual. So there's a mutual attraction there, and there was some sort of ease in a conversation that most likely led to plans being made and you getting ready and anticipating that first date. So while I know you're excited and looking forward to this outing, I just want to share a couple of things, maybe about four key things I think you should look out for, pay attention to while you are on that date. And this is in no particular order. Okay, so the first thing, pay attention to what do you have in common, right? Do you have shared interests? Or are you just sitting at the table listening to somebody ramble on and on and on and on about activities that you could care less about? Ramble on and on and on about goals that just don't resonate with you at all. It might be great that he's ambitious and all of that, but how does that even equate to you in his life, right? Because that's really ultimately what this is about, is are we compatible? Are we in alignment here? Is this worth exploring, or is this just an attraction? And we just had a nice conversation one day. So pay attention to that. Listening closely to, it's nice to see that somebody is passionate about their own life and the things that they do with their spare time or free time, as well as maybe their career, and that's all wonderful things. But you want to make sure that in a relationship that you end up with somebody that you can actually spend quality time with, right? It's about those shared activities. You don't want to end up with somebody where it's just, okay, we have this one or two thing in common, and then you go be off in your own corner in your world, and I'm off in my own world, and we don't really see eye to eye. Yes, we should be independent people with our own interests and friendships, but the point of a relationship is, sharing your life with somebody else. So there should be that point of intersection, right? We can go our separate ways, but there should also be that coming together. And that coming together is based on shared interests, or else there is no coming together, or is coming together less and less, and it becomes a chore to come together. So on that first date, make sure you're paying close attention to, what do we have in common? How could we spend time together beyond our attraction to one another? And on that note, beyond the attraction, do you have the same goals for a relationship? Do you want the same thing? Are you sitting with somebody who just got out of something and is in no shape or form ready to start something serious, and he's just casually out and getting to know as many people as possible just to get to know? And maybe you might be in that place where you've already had time to be on your own, and now you are ready to date with more intention in search of a potential life partner. Are you guys in alignment? Is he saying the same things? Are you guys saying the same things, essentially? And if not, pay close attention. Do not minimize that. I have another video about called separating, the fact from fiction. Make sure that you are not projecting your ideas and that you are getting clarity from the actual conversation. Because as women, we tend to do that. We might be really attracted to somebody and then kind of go along and assume that we have more in common than we actually do. So definitely watch that pattern if that is you. Make sure that you guys have the same end goals for a relationship in mind. And third suggestion is pay attention to your body, okay? How are you reacting internally to this exchange? How do you feel around this person beyond the attraction, right? Beyond the butterflies of, ooh, I like what I see. How does it feel to be in conversation with this person, to be across the table from this person, and you are listening to what is being said, maybe a question that you asked? How is your body responding? Are you feeling nervous beyond just like jitters? Like, did a response trigger a nervous reaction? Fearful or relaxed? At ease, pleasant, joyful? Or are you feeling nothing, right? Other than like, okay, he's cute, but I'm bored. Pay attention. Don't try to fight how you're feeling in that sense. Pay attention to the feelings, okay? And get curious about why those feelings are there, but just pay attention, because then you can kind of reflect after the date is over on some key moments in the conversation for you that had you reacting in a particular way, all right? Then after the date, you can do that personal debriefing and going, yeah, I kind of tightened up when he said X, Y, and Z about his family, or I kind of tightened up when he said X, Y, and Z about, a friend, or the way he talked about his ex. So I'm just giving you those concrete examples of things that could come up that could trigger a response. Pay attention to how you feel. Our body is always trying to communicate, right? Our bodies communicate with us, and it's up to us to listen. And the first date is the best time to get as much intel as you can, because you don't know this person and this person doesn't know you, and your body's also getting intel. So pay attention to what your body is saying, okay? And then I think the fourth concept, and the final one that I will end with here, is why would you want to go out on a second date? If you've decided that you want to go out on a second date, why? Is it just to keep staring at the person? Or was there some sort of exchange where you felt like, there was a deepening of this bond, and or there's a space here we could explore? Get curious. Why would you say yes to a second date? Or would you say yes, right? You should get that feeling or that sense by the end of the evening of, well, this is somebody I'd like to see again, or not see again. And you understand why, because you were listening for shared interests. You were going beyond the attraction and listening for goals to see if those goals were shared. You were paying attention to your body and noticing the cues that your body was sending you during that dinner conversation. And then once you've done all those things, you've now come to a point where you could make a decision about whether there's going to be a second date or this was just a nice one and done situation. And it's okay to have a decision made then and there, and then once you've kind of gone home and you have time to to debrief on the date and you come to another conclusion, that is okay too. You can honor what your experience was, and you can honor what your time of reflection provides you on the date. So happy first date, happy dating, but make sure that you are dating with intention, you are leaning in with curiosity, and that you are honoring your truth. You are honoring your values right from the get-go. So I will end there. If this content resonated with you, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, and also feel free to share with a woman or being that you think would benefit from the topics that we discuss here. And so until next time, keep well.